Dear student, welcome to my channel. This is the 10th video on C programming, and in this video I am going to take again detailed exercises for loop, that is while and for. Now let us start. Example 21. Program to find addition of individual digits of a given number. For example, if number is 453, answer is individual digits, that is nothing but 4 plus 5 plus 3, which is equal to 12. Now before explaining the program, I will explain the logic, and whatever we think, we are simply converted that logic statement into the program statement. Now see, n is equal to 453. Here we are dividing with quotient and remainder. Now quotient is equal to n by 10. When we divide 453 by 10, both are integer, so answer is 45, that is quotient is 45. And when we divide 453 by 10, at that time remainder is 3, so this operator, that is percentage, it will separate out the remainder. Now what we require to do, we require to find out sum of the digits. So first we will separate the 3, then first we will separate this 3, then we will add into the sum. So initialization of sum should be 0, so 0 plus 3 is 3. Now here we require, now initially number is 453, but now we have already extracted the 3, so our resultant number should be what, 45. So that is the important statement. So here there is no serial sequence increment or decrement, but decrement depends on the quotient value. So what we do, n equal to q. Now value of q, that is quotient, is 45, which is assigned to the number. So in this way number is decremented. Next time 45. 45 by 10, quotient is 4 and remainder is what, 5. Then what we do, sum is equal to sum plus r. 3 initially sum is 0, but after first iteration sum become 3. After that iteration 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. Now n becomes 4. 4 will come here. 4 by 10, quotient is 0, remainder is 4. 8 plus 4 is equal to 12. Now number becomes 0. When number becomes 0, we don't want to do work, so we will do this operation. Until number is not equal to 0. When number becomes 0, we will come out of the loop. Now we can see that all the logic is just converted into the simple statement. Now see, n we need to declare sum equal to 0, quotient and remainder. We accepted the number. What is the condition? While that number is not equal to 0, first we will separate the quotient, then the remainder, then sum is equal to sum plus r. And here by assigning n equal to q, that's why you never remember the program, because even you write down q equal to n, it will do the very wrong thing, because n will not decrement. So that's why you require to understand each meaning of each and every statement. So n equal to q means whatever the modified value of q will be assigned to the n, and in this way n becomes decrement. And this will continue, this loop will continue until n is not equal to 0. When n becomes 0, it will come out of the loop, and when it will come out of the loop, it will print the value of sum. And I have shown that what is the value of n when you come out of the loop. The value of n when you come out of the loop is 0. That is nothing but what, n is going to be continuously changed from 453 to 45, 45 to 4 to 0. Now same program we want to write in a for loop. Now what will be the change? Here there is no need of initialization of n, because n is already we entered. Now initialization of sum equal to 0 while n is not equal to 0, and this is nothing but our decrement operation. So here quotient is also not required, because we are directly writing n is equal to n by 10. So in the loop only statement will come as remainder, and sum is equal to sum plus r. This statement, this is the 21st program, so before all 20th program I have explained each and everything detailed, so I am not repeating again and again in the video. So sum initialized, n is not equal to 0, n equal to n by 10. This is the operation, and after the loop we will print the value of sum and n. I purposely print the value of n to show you that the value of n is decreases, and sometimes we require to use the n after the loop, but we can't use directly n because n is already reached to the 0. Now the program is same, only instead of sum of the individual digit we want the multiplication of the individual digit. So what is the logic behind here? Here when we declare the variable, now in some program we initialize sum to 0, but in multiplication we can't initialize that variable to 0. What will happen? Because 3 into 0, 0, so anything into 0 is 0, so it will, final answer will give the 0. That's why whenever we want to do the multiplication, so generally variable is declared as a 1, so multi 1. the logic is same, quotient, remainder, multi is equal to multi into r, only multivariable initialized should be 1 and n equal to q, that is nothing but your decrement step. So this program is same as previous program, only change is that we require to declare this variable as 1 and only here operation is a multiplication operation. Can we write down the same program using the for loop? Yes, only what we require to do, only we require to do the change, initialize the variable here. There is no need of n initialization because n is already there. This final condition, n is not equal to 0 and this is the decrement, n equal to n by 10, and here only remainder and the multi is equal to multi into r. So initially multi is 1, then 3 separated, 1 into 3, so multi change from 1 to 3. See, initially multi is 1, after first step is 3, then it is 15 and then it is 60. Now next is program to find out the maximum value of individual digit of a given number. For example, if number is 453, then maximum value of the digit is 5. So for that also this max and minimum logic is again famous. So whenever we want to find out the max, we always make the max to the 0. Now n is declared, rq, logic is same, only what we require to do, whenever remainder gets separated, we compare that remainder with the max value. Now I will explain only the important. Now see, under the if only one statement we require to take. So under the if it will take only these two, this one statement, and this will be applicable for all. Now first, for example, see 453 number is there, it will separate out the first r as a 3, so 3, and now we compare. Now r is 3 and max is by default is 0, because it may happen that max is change in the condition. So now r is 3 is greater than 0, yes. So when 3 is greater than 0, it indicate what, that whatever the current max is not the proper, we should change. So what we are doing, max is equal to r, so whatever the value of r we are giving to the max. So initially max is 0, but after this the max will change to the r, so max will becomes the 3. Now see, this is the first iteration. Now when iteration start, at the start max is 0, but after one iteration max become 3. Now next digit separated 5. Now again we will check. Now our max is 3, but now extracted digit is 5, which is again greater than 3, so there is need to change the max. So what we did, that is max equal to r, so r is 5, then max becomes 5. Next digit separated is what, 4. Now max is 5, so it should not be changed. So again the loop is 4 is greater than 5, which is not okay. So that's why when this condition is failed, this statement will not get executed and our max written as a 5 value. So 5 greater than 4, that is, this is okay. So no, sorry, this is 4 greater than 5, because max is 5, sorry, max is 5. 4 greater than 5, this condition fail. So when this condition fail, this statement will not execute. So in this way it will find out the maximum value of individual digit. When we want to convert this program using the for loop, only change is that max equal to 0, n is not equal to 0, n equal to n by 10. We find out the r, then we compare. If r is greater than max, max equal to r. Now here actually this is the separated digit, so this is again 4 and our previous value 5. So 4 greater than 5 condition not satisfied, and it will use max will not change. So you can easily find out that even if program is written in while loop, if we know the logic, we can easily convert that program into the for loop. And after practice you may take decision that this program should be done with the while loop, or this program should be done with the for loop. Now next is the minimum value. Now minimum, what we require to do, now single digit. Now see, individual digit, so digit values are from 0 to 9, so maximum value is what, 9. So when we are doing the minimum program, generally we assign that value to the maximum. So minimum is equal to 9. If we first extract the r, now what we require to, instead of greater than, we use the less than sign, r less than minimum. Now initially our minimum is what, 9. Now r comes, for example first 3 it will come. Now it is a decision that minimum is greater, so we should change the minimum. So statement is what? Minimum equal to r. Now initially our minimum was 9, but now it will change to the 3. So in this way minimum becomes 3. Next digit separate will be 4. 4 less than 3, yes, so minimum will not change. Next 5 will come. 5 less than 3, yes, so this condition is not satisfied, so therefore again this statement will not execute and minimum will returns as a 3. So this is only change. When max is there, we assign max to the 0 and greater than, and when minimum maximum value whatever, for example here it is a single digit, so that's why we keep as a 9. If it is 2 digit, we keep my 99. And for the for, same. Now next program is a program to return a particular digit of given number from location entered by user. Now here for example number is 453. If user enters location 0, then the program should return 3, because here we are not using the concept of array, so we are extracting the number from the right hand side only. So if user enters a 0, then it should return 3. If users enter 1, it should return the 5. So here only the change is that what we require to do, location by default, this is a location 0, this is location 1, this is location 2. Now enter the number, we enter the number. Now we will accept the choice from the user, that user want to see which location, so user accepted the location. Now for example user accepted location, this value is 2, just make assumption that this value is 2. Now what we do, initially location 0, 0 2 will not match. Next time location increase for 5, it will becomes 1 2. Next time the location becomes 2 and 2 and 2 match, and it will display that particular value at that location. Now see, number location entered by the user location. Now the loop is same, while n is not equal to 0, we separate out the remainder. If user location is equal to location, then at that time it will print the value of r, and location plus plus n equal to n by 10. Now why to do the location plus plus? For example, see, now user location is 2, and initially when we separate out the 3, our location is 0. Next time our location is 1, that's why we are incrementing this location plus plus. Next time our location is 2 and 2 and 2 is match, and that's why when this condition satisfy or when the condition is true, we are printing this statement. When we want to do using the for loop, no change, n is equal to n by 10, location plus plus, and here n is equal to n by 10, location plus plus. These two things we want to do, that is number reduction as well as location increment. This is location 0, n is not equal to 0, so this is the initial condition, this is the check condition, and this is nothing but the increment or decrement, whatever we specified in a loop. Now see, for example 453, for example now user enter the location 1, so first it will separate out the number 0 3, which is at the 0th location. After that it will separate out the 11 5, and meanwhile we increment the location, that becomes 1, so 1 match with the 1, and it will show that the element is at 1 location, which is equal to 5. So there is no change when we are doing while or for. So you just have to understand what are the subsequent changes when we are doing the program in while loop or using the for loop. Now convert a given binary number to decimal number. Now for example, for that you should know how to convert the binary number to decimal number. Now see, 1010. Now we are using the same logic as QR, but here only we require to do the answer plus power of 2 raised to location. Now I will explain. For example, our number is 1010. So first we will separate out this. So when this separate out this, what we are actually doing, 2 raised to 0 into 0. But when this is 0, there is no need to multiply. Next time when 1 will separate, now here we will multiply with 2 raised to 1 into 1. See, next 0 multiply, 0 extracted, it is multiplied by 2 raised to 2, but there is no need to multiply with 0. Next is it should be multiplied by 2 raised to 3. Now see how the program happens. Here you can see that when the first element separated, it should be 0, that is this location. Next location 1, so power of 2 raised to 1. Here we are not multiplying because this remainder is 0. So when remainder is not 0, then we are multiplying. That is nothing but building of our logic. Next is 2 raised to 3. Now 2 raised to 3, because remainder is 1, we are going to multiply, and meanwhile the location increases. So now for this location is 2 raised to 3. Now see how to write down the program. While n is not equal to 0, we are separating the remainder. If remainder is 1, then only we are multiplying. Therefore answer is equal to answer plus power 2 raised to location. Then we will increment the location and we will decrement the number. Just observe that. That's why I have not written here answer, because only this value will be carried out, because there is no change in answer. So only when the remainder is 1, answer get updated, otherwise answer will be written as it is. For example, if number is 10000, so for 3 times it is not going to the loop and answer will be 0, and for the third time it will go into the loop with 2 raised to 3 into 1, that is nothing but 8. Now same program with the for loop. Now program to print the given number in following format. Now here also it is very easy for you people to understand now. So first number multiplied should be 1, second number multiplied should be 10, third number should be multiplied with 10. So here also you can use the power function, or you can use a different logic. So when you are using the power here, what we require to do? Power 10 raised to comma location. Initially location is 0, so 10 raised to 0 is 1. Next 10 raised to 1, 10 raised to 2. So in this way also we can build the logic. And here I have taken c equal to 1, and I am incrementing the c by 10. That is the same thing. So initially it is 1, then 10, then 100, then 1000. So see, program is accept the n while n is not equal to 0, remainder, quotient, I am multiplying r into c and incrementing c by 10. So these statements are very important. You should not increment first and then printf, otherwise what will happen? It will print with the incremented or printed, it will print the value of r into c with the incremental value of c. So it will, first time it will show 30, then 500, then 4000. So you have to understand each and every line of the program. So either you can use the power logic or you can use this logic also. Now with the c for loop, it is again easy. C initialized to 1 while n is not equal to 0, n decrement, and this is nothing but the c increment logic. After practice you can find out that for loop is very easy, because in for loop within this we can write down most of the things. So in the loop we are dealing with a very few things. Now this program I will not explain, you just try to understand the Armstrong. So what we require to do? Separate out the digits, that is r. After that make the cube and add to the number. So we make sum equal to 0. Now for space purpose I have written the, even you write the program like this, it does not make any difference, because semicolon is there. So whenever semicolon is there, it understands the end of the statement. Number accepted. Now only I have to explain this logic. So we are separate out the remainder, then we make the r cube added to the sum, and after that we want to check that whether it is equal to your original number or not. But from the first example I am explaining that when we come out of the loop n becomes 0. So if you are comparing with n equal to sum, what will happen? N already becomes 0. Sum is now 153, but during this loop our n tends to 0, so it will always compare with 0. So what we require to do? We require to store this n value into one more variable. For example, I have taken the temp. So temp equal to n. So whatever the initial value of n is 153, it will store into the temp variable, and after the iteration also, even if n changes, we can match with the temp. So that is only the logic I have to explain for this program. Now see, the logic is same. Here I have just do the program with for loop. Now here in the for loop you can write down temp equal to n, sum equal to 0. This is your to initialization. Final condition is n is not equal to 0 and decrement is n equal to n by 10. Now for this you try to understand what we require to do. We require to separate out the digits. If that digit is odd, then we add odd. If that digit is even, we have to add into the even. So two variables, sum of even, sum of odd. They initialize to 0. We separate out quotient, remainder. If remainder is 0, means what? That digit is what? Even digit. Then we update even. If it is not, we update the odd. Then n equal to q, that is nothing but decrement takes place, and after that we are printing the value. And if we want to write down same for the for loop, it is very easy. These two variable, only for the space purpose I have written like this, but I have to actually write if remainder is equal to, if remainder is even, then update even, otherwise update odd. Last program, try to understand what we have to do, whether given number is Niven or not. So what is mean by Niven number? For example 126, we add 1 plus 2 plus 6, which is equal to 9. If that 126 is divisible by 9, that is nothing but the sum of the digit, the number is what? Niven number. So our program, first program is same as, we are just finding out the sum of the digits. Only what we require to do, we require to do that. Now see here again n changed to 0, so we can't check with the n number, so we have already stored in a temp. So in temp, when 126 is entered, we already stored in a temp variable. So 126 mod of 9 means what? If 126 is divided by 9, sum equal to 0. This is a remainder operation. So remainder is 0 means what? That number is completely divided. Then it is Niven number, otherwise it is not Niven number. And in for loop it is very easy. Sum equal to 0. We are making temp equal to n because n is going to 0. So we are already stored in some variable. So in this way I have explained the for and while exercises. So in the next video also I am going to cover more exercises so that your logic becomes strong, that there is no need to remember even a single program. We can think and we can write down the program, and whatever we are thinking, we are same translating the statements in a programming. Thank you.